Hi, and a very warm welcome from a very sunny Bryanston in Johannesburg. Now we're here this week with My Business Rules for a very strange entrepreneur story. It's the story of Salim Shermohammed. Now, he was born and bred in Pakistan. He went to Atlanta in the United States, where he made his name in the computer business with some of the big names like Apple. Now he's landed here in Johannesburg, where he wants to make a fortune out of selling chicken.
Hello, my name is Salim Shermohammed. Welcome to Chicken Stop. I'm the Managing Director of National Brand Development of Africa, which is the owner of Chicken Stop. My business rules because we have excellent food, excellent value, and excellent service. Product and value has to be right for the customer. But customer service is critical, which brings the customer back. And we are known for our customer service.
So here we are now with the man behind the idea of a new chicken franchise is Salim Shermohammed. So just a little bit about yourself. I mean, you're not from Africa, you're born and bred in Pakistan. Your family and your parents, were they entrepreneurs?
My mother has been a mother and with the toughest job, raising 6 kids. And so she took care of us. And our father has been always in service delivery business, especially in real estate area. So sort of, I wouldn't say full-time entrepreneur, but it has been part of the service.
And when you were very young, when you were growing up, when you were still in the care of your mother, did you always want to be an entrepreneur?
I wanted to do something and for myself, and I did work for a very little period of time, but I found it to be very confining. So I broke away and started doing my little things on the side.
I mean, what was your first act as an entrepreneur?
My first act was getting into a allied media business, which was like computers were new, so computer forms were new, printer ribbons and all that stuff. So that's what I started doing, going to multinationals and selling them computer ribbons.
And then this work took you to the United States.
Actually, this worked. Of course, I got married, kids were growing up, and one of the reasons we wanted to move to US was the education focus. The quality of life and the quality of education is absolutely unparalleled in US, and we are so glad that we made that choice.
And then you worked in the business development business in the States, based out of Atlanta, I understand, with computer companies, some of the big names.
Absolutely, and so I worked with some big brands, big names. We are well-known industry leaders. I've worked with them, but always my primary core competency, I would say, has always been a business development. So I would take a thing from scratch and take it to the level where it needed to be.
So fast forward till about, say, 3 years ago.
Yes.
All of a sudden, on a whim, out of nowhere, you land in Africa. What was behind that?
I think if you look at globally, and if you say what is the game in town, and I think Africa is a game in town. And the BRICS country, if you look at Africa from that point of view, especially South Africa, it has a very compelling story, and language is not an issue.
Why computers to chicken? That's probably one of the questions.
I think computer was just the trade I was in. It is the business development, which I'm known for. So it's the core competency has always been business development. So after computers, there was a time it was hardware, all computers, but then it evolved. It all became service delivery. Sometimes there's been product needs to be developed to be delivered to the customer, customized solutions. So I'll give you an example. One of my early years, internet connectivity, even in US, has not been as great as it is here in South Africa. And the terrestrial network was not available. So you have to reach out to people. And I was working with a very large tractor company, Massey Ferguson guys, which is a company called AGCO, and help them develop a customized satellite network for their dealers to do business with AGCO. Now, so that includes product development, service delivery. One can say it's technology related, but it's all part of this business development, providing solutions to the needs. And that's what I do.
But it is a bit of a tight turn. I mean, you're working with Apple, Compaq,
Yes.
and then all of a sudden you're working with chicken out on the streets of Africa.
Yes.
I mean, a lot of people still ask why.
I think there's an opportunity here. I have very solid group who has core competency in this business. I'm a very quick learner, and my partners in US have been in this business for 30 years, so they know a thing or two about this business. And with their coaching and we've been able to successfully crack this code. Now, my background became really helpful. I feel very comfortable here, and I feel like I'm in my element because my early days in Pakistan were no different than living here.
Now, you spent 2 years researching this market and trying to draw up. You've done your homework, but you've got to accept that it's a very difficult market, and it's from here to the Mediterranean Sea. It's fairly well served. One might even say saturated. Doesn't that worry you at all?
Absolutely, but here's also the other side of it. Look at not been a month ago, two major brands, Pizza Hut and Domino's Pizza, announced their entry, which tells you a story that this market is growing. It is not where it needs to be. Today, there's a lot of headroom to grow. What we call it still, South Africa is a page 17 news. It'll be saturated in a few years, and we don't want to be at that time. We don't want to be late, so we are here. And that's why what we are doing is we are pouring a lot of concrete in the foundation. So there's a lot of, we believe that there's a lot of headroom to grow in this market.
But you have to accept that your competitors are not going to see it that way. They're going to see you as competition. I mean, all kinds of things can happen. You might find problems getting suppliers in certain places. They're loyal to your competitors. You might have problems. You might face price cuts. There's all kinds of ways they can try to squash you before you even start.
I agree. And what I call my competitors as my peers as well, because there is so much to learn from them. One thing which we really believe that competition is good. Competition is good for the consumer. Competition is good for the companies. That keeps us sharp and forces us to innovate. So it's good for everyone, number one. Number two, you don't build a 100-story building with a 1-story capital. When you talk about cross-generational effort, we are here for a long haul. And knowing a thing or two about this business, being in this business for 30 years as a group, we came prepared. So far if you look at it, it's not that we have the resources. Of course, there's no such thing as unlimited resources. We have resources to get to the point where we need to be. And then what we are doing is we are franchising, which means we are taking local partners on board. They'll bring their knowledge, they'll bring their core competency, they'll bring their relationships, which will help us leverage the penetration, which will help us leverage. We will leverage their relationships, and which will help us penetrate the market.
And one thing you're trying to base your market challenge on is service, and is service within the stores. And I understand you're probably one of the first fast food outlets to buy makeup for your staff members. Is that right?
Yes, I've not heard of others doing this.
No.
And I think it is only fair you do this because we expect our team members to look good and smile. And it's difficult. And, market dictates the wages, the salaries. You cannot pay too much. Your unit economics has to be in place. So average salary is 2,500 to 3,000 Rand. In 2,500 to 3,000 Rand, we expect our team members to look good, look nice and fresh, and wear makeup and all that. Now, if you're making 3,000 Rand a month, there will be a time in your life, in that month, that you'll run out of soap. You talk about looking good, washing uniform every day, not possible. So what we do is we underwrite that cost under marketing. We wash laundry uniform for our team members every day. So when they come to work do their shift, they get fresh laundered uniform to wear. And all female in our stores get at a time 3 months supply of makeup. It may sound out of box, frankly it doesn't cost you much. And also the return on that investment is tenfold. And I'll tell you why. It has a net impact on our customer service. Our people are happy. Now imagine you coming to work with the stress, and here you come to work without stress. You're not worried about your manager squealing at you because you don't look right. Here, you're coming to work, you know that you're going to get fresh uniform to wear. And you'll feel good after you apply the makeup. Now, what happens? It gives you a reason to smile. Also, what we have noticed, it also sort of gives you a break from the hardship. So those next 10 hours, 8 to 10 hours, you're in a different skin. And we have noticed our people are happy. It creates happy vibe in our store. And what happened? Our customers are happy because our people are happy who are serving them. And we have received these comments every time unsolicited from the customers.
Finally, very briefly, looking to the future, it's still in its infancy at the moment. How many stores now?
Within 8 months, we opened 4 stores.
Okay. And what's the target, and which countries do you think in the continent you might be opening up in?
Our target is 300 stores in 5 years. We are already on our way to this. We are signing franchises. We have received an absolute amazing response. And one of the key questions why we are getting this response is not how fancy and good looking the product and everything is, but very importantly, these are savvy business people who are investing with us, and what they are looking at the unit economics. So our fundamental reason for growth is unit economics, and it has to be profitable. Then you can do everything else. Our key growth market, Sub-Saharan Africa, we are receiving a lot of inquiries already. So Sub-Saharan Africa is our first step.
Well, and I wish you all the best of luck with it. Salim Shermohammed, the guiding spirit of one of Africa's newest chicken ventures. I'm afraid that's all we've got time for in this edition of My Business Rules. From me, Chris Bishop, in Bryanston, it's goodbye.